Twin say, na omami demre a ete se aba e ka se. Sorry, na sisu Nyankopon asori dan. Eni aforobuchi ya, ene wona wo sorry e wo mu no. Na adi ho a ewo asori dan no ho no de. Jatu ho na ensusu. Ebi se wode ama amanaman. Na obi tietia krokronkron no so. Abosome aduanan emienu. Na mema madanzefo baanu efrefre ayitoma abeka adisem ena apem ahanu aduosia. Yenum ne engudua mienu ene akania dua emienu a ejinagina asase era no anum. Na se obi pese oha wona oja everyone anumu ebemene wona atamfo. Na se obi pese oha wona etwa se okuno saara. Yenum ewotumi se oto osoro mu na osuo ento wona diye ena emu no. Na wowo nsuo so tumi se omano edane moja ene se ode ha biara eha asase da biara ope. Amen.
Amen. All right. Now, I didn't get to see what I can cancel you. Let's just try to think through verse 1 to verse number 7. Then I'll tell you. And then I'll tell you. One a bit way.
Yeah. Yeah, TV say Sir John no ana one nyamene no ye yina. Oma no abase onfa nkususu Onyankopon temple no.
Right.
Mete ho.
Yeah.
Na on kenkan wo mo worship wo ho nyina. Se on kan wo mo.
It has sister. Then I'll also tell you. Sister Linda.
Okay, say den ampa. Me crack as a parable na say.
Right.
Na middle somewhere na se me hu ni se Nyankopon ebema krobi anase omai bi tumi ama omo di abedi Israel so. That's the bibia me hu no spend parable no obema obi kwan ama ne di abedi omo so. Na emom obeyi ebi amefa se nipa mienu bi agina ho. Asombaye me hu ni so me mediator. Mo on at the time of we nyina akoso no.
Okay.
When Mr. Maya class I'm sad the parable them, but me hu ni say punishment dey nyame dey by Israel so oma obi na abedi omo so ama ho kan obema obi abedi omo so. Menti ase e mu bi no.
Great. Good observation. We'll get into it. Yeah, that's Papa. But you.
Yeah, meso me dey no say sene kenkan no you say John yamano was a tape measure. As I on measure enoma bi. Enoma na yeso measure no baako Nyankopon asori dan na specific areas bi so ho yede ama no so measure. Na other parts bi so yesi o measure. Bi o measure nipa nso a o temple no mu no. Eno nso wo ho. Na in the message no nso na ehunu se adansefo man mienu bi nso abam ono nso edi ka Nyankopon adi sema na wo ka Nyankopon asem na initially na hanso ehunu se omo ahoɔden bi yɛde tumi bi ama omo ahoɔden a omo tumi sa de no se opesa wo ha omo kra na how ebeba woni eno so enti summary kan no summary no na me free mo no.
Yeah, that's Papa. All right, hope you. Okay.
Pacho.
Yeah, bra into.
Sin anyuan mu kan no yeah, tape no or measure nipa no almost empire worship word sorry inside no. There's more measure outside the phone. Me say I should think say one almost outside, one moon shedan and can't almost some yame. And tis as some never ban team were bound, so no. Maybe it's different from those who are more worshipful God, diligently.
That's it, brother Christian. All right.
Me san hu bibi wa ha mente aseye o se adansifo mienu bi na wo mafira ayituma. Ai de ba hono. Wo mu be proclaim onyankopon asem.
Right.
For 1,260 days.
Right. That's it. Now, say you read chapter 11 here, and my hunu enkrofo ye frasi aye kenkan nyina no atemmu eba nyina no wo mo a e kodiama wonom, the recipient of the judgment na eba no. And hey ye be hunu say it was unfaithful Jerusalem. Na nye ewiase nyina, this was directed to a peculiar group of people. Enti ebema enipa ene wonom keka se the revelation no emunsem na wo mu no afe na ebeba nti ibenya the 4 horsemen beast bi be fi pumaba be fi asase aba sa ne manema no omoboa enye no kre e kire se ehei omeye be hunu specific group of people na omoye the receivers of whatever judgment ya ne rade e de eba. Okay, now John yamano measuring a reed like a measuring rod. And the angels too saying, rise and measure the temple of God, the altar, and those who worship there. It's a hey, obekaya. Yedru chapter 7, no, there was an interlude. You say, of course, I tell you everybody, now so onyaminim wamwa eyenedia. Wama wamu a seal. I show me so. I shane manson. John's unipa 144,000. Ote dabi ohunu ote nipa 144,000 na mem ohunu nipa dodo so no ntumi nka wo ma no asa nipa no afa mane bebre mu enso radia mount ade fita talking about God's chosen people. So how bebrebe nyina mu no onyaminim wo mu a eye ne dia. Now chapter 11 no, it's a similar message because still no, we are still in the interlude from the 6th trumpet no echo the 7th trumpet no and ye hunu say e wo mu so nyame de atemwo e ba nipa so de na so onim wo mu a eye ne dia onim wo mu a eye ne dia ehei waso wo measure enkrofo bi. And of course when you a physical temple say asode is ho ko ye nyina enim say somewhere in the Bible we will get there Nyankopon say we are the temple of God. Enti enipa ene Bible de shon fo bebre gitum se ehei adwuma dia ma ne se onoma enipa dodo a wode wo ho ato Awurade so wo mo a esum Awurade yi wo mo a atene Awurade na ase no o measure wo nom na fei enipa bi so wo de anu onya mo measure because one day onye wadwe so ba de ni mu enti they will be left for destruction. Adesua wa han say Yesua chapter 2 chapter 3 no asafodo ba akon so obeye nwuna wo nya nwunu obeye hwe so wo nya hwe na motoro bodwo de Awurade wo mpe obefena fena num enti Awurade he want you to either be on the left side or the right side. You are either in or out. Enti wo mu ewo mu no o se on measure wonom on kan wonom on hu wonom dodo wo mu abonten de onya won onya won is and said they will be left for destruction. It's a big lesson for all of us. Say yes, so your atem will be a baba yenso. Are we in with God or we are outside the temple? Are we with God or we are without God? Without God, no say na womo na ye rade dia no say on kan wo no man. On measure one. So just like chapter 7 talking about a sealer, yet show woman and so no Sarah and a hands walk on one. In Tatemo no eba unfaithful Jerusalem. So and opeso yi no mefiri mu oyi wo mo ye ne de no edi won edi free mu. Now let's look at it again. 2 no say, but leave out the courts which is outside the temple, and do not measure it, for it has been given to the Gentiles, and they will tread the holy city underfoot 40 months. Into how judgment on crop cry about one so. One more embe radimuno. One more embe radimun, one more for whom to radis one. Also on the enkai one. It says what the ja one do ama. Enipa eba na one baby teacher one so at your how about one so. The ja one the amasa form. Na omo do how eba o ma kon so Jerusalem. Now 42 months now it's not anything. It's just talk about the limited time. A idea ends now so a limited time. And as how no Roman for no in this context no edeba on my concron Jerusalem also. Okay, so that is the verse number 1 and verse number 2. Onyame di atemu eba Jerusalem so and I say on my concron so na so hu ni di ewo mu ansa Oma no kwan emo atamfo enya wonom isanse wonu ntie na sem isanse womo enante ne kwan eso. So the city of Jerusalem will undergo great persecution, but the true temple of God will not be destroyed. The true temple of God will not be destroyed. The true temple of God will not be destroyed. 1 Corinthians 3:16 is saying. 1 Corinthians 3:16. First Corinthians 3:16.
When him say, "Moya Yankopon asɔredan na Yankopon hom etimumu."
Okay. It's yen a Christopher. Ye can't saw dan ye dan ye suga nipa wo mu no. Ye can't saw dan na yen Christopher. Yen ye Yankopon asɔredan. The book of Acts no say, "And no nyame nte dan ya nipa de ne nsa esi mu." The first no nyame ma kwan na omasi dan na so no homa bam na wo makobɔ ne mpa ne ade. O say na nte sa. Na mum wo ye Yankopon asɔredan. Wo ye the spiritual temple of God. Into agidifo ne Bible for bebre su say God was referring to the spiritual temple. Yenye Christopher. Yen esi ebedi Awurade echi. Ephesians chapter 2. So oje bre na okenkan ya or refer to the Christian no as a danya yesi. Say asmafo no eto foundation no Yesu ye the chief cornerstone. Na ya kanu ye di en eto builder no eso. So we form the temple of God. We are the temple of God. Okay? Enti hey onyame se onkenkan ne ma akonkron for no measure won. Onka wonum ano. On mark wonum. On mark wonum. Enti onyame di atemu oba Jerusalem so. O ha bebre ebe nipa maso. Nanso ne ma akonkron for no de. Se empo wo wu a wo se wonu wo ohome soronko. Inshranka ewufu a wo mu Awurade mu firi se ekro no. Hom na se ane. Obehume firi won brem no nwumadi wan achi. Revelation 14:13. Enti kan won no. No madam. Esa se sample or how never no. Se wo mu bi fa so wu a, they still have a place with me. Adisua wo mu no se ye wo wiase ohane abebre se how ni bi wo ho anye ye ne yakose ye obi ne yakose ye but the sunsanso bi tumi ba ye nso e me ne tumi kura kunye ye Kristofo ye gidie e wo Awurade asem kire ye nse se ye wu a Awurade oba be papatna ye wu Awurade be papa so no onim ye he knows us wa mark ye wa hye ye nso enti na wo se ye sum Awurade yi no ne ye sum ni yi na so tumi hye ye nso a say ye no so yo chino obu ni matan a busuafo Awurade de ye bi gina yi Awurade de ye ebesi eyi enti hey Awurade ahye se onkan ne mma no ano esan so de atembu eba o ma konkon no so na wono mu a wono de wono enti Awurade asem enti wono amma Awurade efi no won de wono ahye atamfo no nsa se on for one enye dear one more epe. On for one year the one more epe. All right. Now, from verse number 3, I'll say, and I will give power to my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. Now, you're introduced to some 2 witnesses, and as a form you be. Echebe who say, enye literal say enipa mienu a womu edi adanse. Inchiremu womu, yebesua yebehunu yebetiase. Yebehunu intrase. Na sa adanse mienu no. Yama on kwan se wono mo enkasa enka Awurade asempa enhye nkom 1,260 days. Bebre susu say it is equivalent to namana yehunu earlier no. The 42 month no. Okay, so I'm prophesy for a limited number of time. That is what it means. Na afei na wono efra sackcloth. Sackcloth said the twi ni kire mu no atade a se awerɛhɔ ba ana yɛhyɛ kyerɛ wo sɛ ensɛm a wɔn ɛka no awerɛhɔ nsɛm atemu Awurade de ba ehu a enipa bebree a wɔn anya Awurade ani no wɔn bewu ahwere wɔn nkwakwa enya dan nkwa mfa ma wɔn kra enti na wɔn atade wɔn hyɛ no depict whatever situation ɛwɔ hɔ. Okay, verse number 4 no say, these are the 2 olive trees and the 2 lampstands standing before the God of the earth. And if anyone wants to harm them, fire proceeds from their mouth. Safo no, ade ba kwa yede describe one no say, omo ye the olive tree and a candlestick ejina Awurade anymore no. Na obi biara opese ode ohaw ba one so no. Eja efiri wo manum ehye saa atamfo no. Na so obi pese oha wonom so a saa kwan no so a na wonom so ebewuo. Afe yama otumi se wonom enshut heaven so that no rain falls in the days of their prophecy, and they have power over waters to turn them into blood. Sa wa konya se omdane nsuo manedane moja, and to strike the earth with plagues as often as they desire. Afe otumi se omoma enoma ehu na edi ohabre nipa ebe nipa emma eso. Now, question is, what is he talking about? Like I said, chapter 11 is one of the difficult chapters, but you bet training in us would understand. Okay, what does it mean? What does it mean? Now, the 1,260 days is equivalent to the 42 months. Meaning, say, their prophecy will be limited and yet forever. And you're limited. Womo twini padwini esi atemmu a na nyame ede bankrofo no eso sat adansfo mi no mo adwuma eno no amedi nka kire mu se sackcloth no eye atade a yehye ede kire awraho se de Job ye no ho no atade yehye de kire se yewraho yewraho obi hye bia na kire se wodi awraho to se ye krom obi hye tuntum wo hwe me de ma hye ye a me free ha me kwa yi ase nti me tuntum wo kokko kire se eni braba so no sackcloth no eye o mayi ntoma obi hye bia hunu se wodi awraho anase eni bre aba nti eno no kire se ensem a saa dansefo no de ba no ya ensem a awraho emu odu na eye ni bresem. Now, of course, in this context, you be hunu so nyame de atemu ebe nipa maso. Eti won so mo kan nyina no ye nsem a enketwa se nipa dane ne ho efri de oye ho ne Awurade tumi adwona so nipa mpese o medane wo ho enti eye ni bresem papa. Say kan Zechariah me Z-E-N Z-E-C Zechariah chapter 3 chapter number 4 okosafa olive tree and the lampstand no ntimi ye sure say this was the pointer na otwerefo person otwe etiefo na adwene ko say a Christopher na won kenkan say they knew the Old Testament. Now okay, Zechariah chapter 3 chapter 4 omo be hu Joshua no the high priest and Zerubbabel obo aye rebuilded the city of Jerusalem. Oka wo ho asem na ode Joshua ni Zerubbabel ejina ho edema you can say Onyankopɔn ɛma akronkronfo a ogina wɔn so ɛma nipa ɛte nasem. Okay? Enti adansefo mienu no enye literal nipa mienu a wɔnom bɛbɛdi adanseɛ. Wɔnom gyina hɔ ɛma Onyankopɔn nipa akronkronfo a wɔnom ka Awurade asɛm pa te sɛ Joshua, te sɛ Zerubbabel. Yɛhwɛ asɛm no mu a ɛna na adansefo mienu bɛgyina hɔ ama Onyame mma a ɔmo preach nyamesɛm titiru in this context no wɔn a ɛka yɛtwe ɔman n'adwene esi atemmu na Awurade ɛde ɛba no so ɛte sɛ ɛdiifoɔ no te sɛ Elijah te sɛ Moses ɛna wɔn aka a ɛtwe ɔman n'adwene esi adeɛ na ɛbɛba no so asomafoɔ no so ɛka bi asomafoɔ no so ɛtwe nipa adwene esi deɛ na ɛbɛba no ɛso and let me explain this further. Sɛ wohwɛ tumi a yɛsɛ yɛde ma saa dansefoɔ mmienu yi a tumi edi kan ene de wɔhene yɛsɛ mo tumi sɔm yɛde ba adeɛ eja efiri wɔn mu ba yɛsa
Ane.
And if anyone want to harm them, fire proceeds from their mouth. Ɛde ba adeɛ wɔ Barbara de hyiam na twe wadwene si de saa adeɛ no so. Barbara bɔkɔ sɛ mu no obi wɔ hɔ a Nyame ma ne tumi ma otumi ɛkɔmande eja ma ne ba yɛbɛhye nipa bi ana. Sɛ ansa nyɛ ane ɛhwan ya ɛde bi nso ana yɛdi saa nkɔmɔ no yɛkae sɛ Barbara do sua kwan so ɛbrɛ bi duru yɛ Onyame ɛma odifo bi kwan anaasɛ obi kwan ɛma otumi ɛma egya ɛba yɛ ɛbɛ hye enipa bi yɛate ne mpɛni nsɛm da na okay
Elisha
ɔho
yeah
okay now yɛkae 2 Kings chapter 1 verse number 10 where Elijah Elijah. So Elijah answered and said to the captain of 50 where Ebra ohini ohini Ahazia ashes yembeche Elijah so Elijah answered and said to the captain of the 50, if I am a man of God, then let fire come down from heaven and consume you and your 50 men. And fire came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50. And hey, Elijah, isn't na sempa walker. No catch them for say, make me your nyankopon difu ampara dia me jemfru so meshe one odom nyina ampara na jefru so aba beshe. Enti hey Otrefo no okasafo no is alluding to the Old Testament prophet onyame ma won tumi no. Enti ebiem Revelation chapter 11 adansefo mienu na ewo no does not necessarily speak about enipa mienu a one mo ba be preach dia kire man Jerusalem. Nemum enipa te say diifo onyame fa won so kasa kire won man no twe won adwene si kwampa so nyina no won ho asem no woka. Asomafo e ba ye betwe won man adwene si kwampa so nyina won ho asem no woka. Kire be hwe de nti o se enipa mienu o ka adansefo mienu de nti use the word two symbolic e be hwe no. Jeremiah 5:14 a similar reading. Now, so what in penny them that because we show to me back when I saw the man and I said, or to me done in sio, that's for me, you know, to be done in sio, man, done in muja. What in penny some that say, or be a one yammy man to me money to me done in sio and done in muja na. Moses. See, who Elijah. Yehu Moses, Yehu Joshua, Yehu Zerubbabel, meaning say characteristics na it refers to some prophet in the past. Because Exodus chapter 7, actually say bra Pharaoh prim na kuma say one ma or my Israel enkono. Onyame fa Moses so which included say odani nsuo mani ye muja na me wo nyina wu ye okay, enti adanse formula no wom description na ha no atwi ya adwene kosi onyame enko a onni wonum ye adwuma na ye behunu wa ha so se sana obi frɛ anaso onyankopɔn frɛ obi ene de ye na adwuma no kremu a ɔma ne tumi onyame frɛ obi ne ye adwuma ɔma ne tumi enti adifo onyame ne won ye adwuma nyina na ɔmo tumi na nye wonum nko. Acts chapter 1 verse number 8 actually and say asoma fonso Awurade frɛ wɔn de wɔn yɛ adwuma so wɔn nso so ɔma wɔn tumi. Acts 1:8 asɛm na ɔhɔ.
Acts 1:8.
Yàkyerɛ ayi asomafo no so ɔmo mɛtwa Jerusalem. Ɔmo bɛtwa Jerusalem for what? Yɛntie deɛ na ɛbɛba wɔn so nti ana ɛwɔ so ɔmo bɛtwa Jerusalem. Acts 1:8.
Ɔse na mmom sɛ Honhom Kronkron no anya ba mo so a mubenya ahoɔden na mo ayɛ madansefoɔ Jerusalem ɛne Judea nyinaa ɛne Samaria ɛde kɔpem asase ano ɛno haa.
All right.
Amen.
Amen. Eti aso abɛkyerɛ yɛn sɛ asomafo nso Awurade ne wɔn yɛ adwuma no wɔn nso ɔma wɔn tumi. Ɔma wɔn tumi. Enti obiara Awurade frɛ no de ne yɛ n'adwuma no. Ɔma ne tumi. Enti hwɛ apam da woman said, touch not my anointed, do no harm to my prophet, because onyame ɛma wɔn something special more than the other people. Ɔma wɔ biribi soronko na tumi Awurade de ma wɔn a na edi n'akyi no na wɔ adwumadi a na edi sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a nipa bɛgye atum sɛ ampa Awurade na ne wɔn mo ɛyɛ adwuma. Everybody knows so in Mark 16 verse 19 and 20, Hebrews 2 verse 1 and 4. Bre Awurade asomafo no ɛkɔka nyamsɛm na nsɛnkyerɛnne anwade ɔmo yɛɛyɛ no ɛkɔnfɛm asɛm a na wɔn ɛka. But before that no, I didn't know you su mienu adansefo mienu. Because mama will say ɛnyɛ literal mienu. It represents all the people, including the prophets, the apostles, and will be around Radifan so actually or minor gene. Esi atembu na eba wo so no eso. That is what it represents. And you literally. But why 2? Why did he use 2? Not 3, not 4, 5, 6, but 2. I didn't know so you soon you know. I didn't know you soon you know. Yes.
Thank you, sir. What can hold some time?
Okay.
Am I what the bar? The bar and casa ya can't casam. Am I mokaya? Tikron coagina, humanism tina tribune in them.
Right.
Yeah, a conceivable, represented some completeness, totality, you know, like, there's an account proverb. Yeah.
Okay. What you so can be at what you know so? I don't know.
Or the Muame.
Number 2, no, I represent strength and a confirmation.
Right. Right. Enti enye literal nipa mienu. It represents the strength of their witness. The strength of a jumadi asha on saso wonu ema meyen. Obekaya. Yesu suma the chidi for so suma won mienu. Obekaya. Osenka for se benu yesene baako. Esan se wo bremu aketua pa ye de ma won. Enti 2 witnesses who Revelation 2:11 no enye nipa mienu. Yes, it represents the totality of all the people God used to remind the people and draw the attention to the coming judgment. That's the point. Okay. Mark 16, verse 19 to 20. So be a bit me. I can't add your mind not ancient.
Marcus and Pai didn't see any Dunkron. Eba Duno. Okay, I say, yeah, Mark, yeah, I say, na fe erade Yesu, anyone kasa actually no. Of ano kostro na okotona nyankopon enifa. Ona making kind.
Mark 16, 19 and 20.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Yeah. Na fe erade Yesu, anyone ekasa actually no. Of ano ekostro na okotona nyankopon enifa. Na one day ofriwo ekoka asem amanyi na rade anyone ayo adwuma enam sankyerene a eka ho no so ehye asem no mu eden. Amen.
Amen. It is a channel and what they ask for you, but I say, ever shall some day. But the position of Hannah say, O beer rade fan of the yen you may piano when yana quaraka or man or bibi to me cra, ever man nipa, one a son be who say ampara rade and anyone a year drama. Ain't Revelation 11, description at one more on the two witnesses, no, and describe all of God's people already you see here at the preacher. Nipa said be nipa beda na wo na wo aba back to Erade enchen. It does not typically talk about nipa mienu per se. Nemum a complete nipa Erade fa won so said be ya nipa adwene be Erade so na atemu eba no emfa ohabia emfa emre wonum. So hwa pam dada no mu a edifo no eka atemu na eba Jerusalem so no as I say, no, John, Revelation, hey, or can Deuteronomy 28, okay, from 52 to 57, now, or describe how it was going to be. Okay, yeah, here's a bit me, I can Deuteronomy 28, 52 to 57. Now, I'm saying all of this to confirm the air kind of say, Nipa 2, no, that's not just Nipa Minu. Transform, does not just mean transform, it refers to all of God's people, a radical one. So, if we shall come to her, your manager is to say, Rade, Bibunima thing, Radebema, and Crofona time for about twice or once to almost sacral margin. To all of those people, no, Agent Homicide, Nipa Minu, Ababo, no, Kahuasem, the two witnesses. But the NTA, Deuteronomy 28, 52 to 57.
Or say, they will lay siege to all the cities throughout your land, until the high fortified walls in which you trust fall down. They will besiege all the cities throughout the land the Lord your God is giving you. Because of the suffering that your enemy will inflict on you during the siege, you will eat the fruit of the womb, the flesh of the sons and daughters the Lord your God has given you. Even the most gentle and sensitive man among you will have to compensation on his own brother or the wife he loves or his surviving children, and he will not give to one of them any of the flesh of his children that he is eating. It will be all he has left because of the suffering your enemy will inflict on you during the siege of all your cities. The most gentle and sensitive woman among you, so sensitive and gentle that she will not venture to touch the ground with the sole of her foot, will grudge the husband she loves and her own son or daughter, the afterbirth from her womb and the children she bears, for she intends to eat them secretly during the siege and in the distress that your enemy will inflict on you in your cities. Is that 57 or 58?
57, that's it.
Okay.
Now, hey, eka or how one eba rade city no so. Esan boni and nipa ni AD&T. And that is exactly what the book of Revelation is talking about. O my Jerusalem, Christo so maba. Na woman your margin so mesa kro margin be Christopher. No mum woman no kra kata Christopher no. No rather say or the atemu eba one so. That is the foundation of the book of Revelation. Ayegusu is. All right. So the prophet prophesied, the apostle spoke about it. One more and the representative sa nipa mienu na dance for mienu no. All right, dance for mienu no. Now, yen kind from verse number 7. And goes verse number 14 no. Revelation 11 verse 7 to verse number 14.
Now, when they have finished their testimony, the beast that comes up from the abyss will attack them and overpower and kill them. Their bodies will lie in the street of the great city, which is figuratively called Sodom and Egypt, where also their Lord was crucified. For 3.5 days, men from every people, tribe, language, and nation will gaze on their bodies and refuse them burial. The inhabitants of the earth will gloat over them and will celebrate by sending each other gifts, because these two prophets had tormented those who live on the earth. But after the 3.5 days, a breath of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet, and terror struck those who saw them. Then they heard a loud voice from heaven saying to them, "Come up here." And they went up to heaven in a cloud while their enemies looked on. At that very hour, there was a severe earthquake, and a tenth of the city collapsed. 7,000 people were killed.
Thank you, Ms. Alice.
And the survivors were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe has passed. The third woe is coming soon.
All right, that's it. So from 7 to 14, then out here. 7 to 14, then out here. Yes. And then out to us, verse 7 to verse number 14. Mm-hmm. Yes. Verse number 7 to verse number yes. Let's do it. Go.
Okay, verse 7 no eba 10 na can be etrain to an komo no so etrema this time fa dance for mienu no eho no sister we won dance di no a ona aboa ofri ebunu no mu no ebetu won so sa na odi won so enkonim. And that's why I say initially nasa dance for mienu yi ewotumi say na describe you know. But you say hano abo of free ebunu no emu no eba eno ebe coin ema obedi won so ema okum won in fact okum won ema was say hano wonafo no ebe da ekuro no abonten so ema nkrofko ni misuako ni kasa hodo ene aman no enyina no oni eje se sa to sa dance for emienu yi esanse na ohawon I mean okanya nkopon asem adifo na adisema na okatra no enti afeya wa free ho ya asane wombo ato won yem no enti no ya ifro on na ihu se bibi enti na omani age because omani say oh omadi sa adance for me so enkonim enti no knowing say the expectation was cut short because emehwe adance for me na ya resurrect omui na amoya den amokosoro na fe hu aka sa amama mu for the boy for na mo celebrity over the momentary fall of those two witnesses no yeah nemi hu no hana
that's papa but we hope you and our brother Steve na kanina okay enti ha ye hu say yes but we kasa
that's okay.
Okay. If you want to say no, you say that's a for no. No the beasts that are sent out of the bottomless pit, will make war against them, overcome them, and kill them. Meaning, say, to me, and that's as if we want no. And yet limitless, and yet limited. Nipa, and as if we know me nipa. And in yamia mo to me kakra, but to me no a limited. Eti hey beast no will of course represent upon some influence or differ human government. So in this context, the Roman Empire so say omonfa embetete nyamemba any my Jerusalem ne wo meka oni ade enti ha yehunu say we wie won asem na ka na so to me be anyone ade esie ama wonum ewu afei one dead body no it want to street no so profokra ka say me ensie won they don't deserve to be buried but even no ye say won ka erade asempa. Now what does it tell you? That should tell you when say ewiase we ye woman no nipa mpe no koreka nipa mpe no koreti. It is also obeye kristoni na waka no kore edi no kore dia fa hye wo tirimu say you will be persecuted. Nipa beka ho nsɛmɔne asɛm no ɛyɛ baako mbɛka sɛ yɛ nan edibi bɛka ho nipa bɛdi ho sekuru nipa bɛtwitwa wo nanti nipa bɛyɛ wo deɛ ɔmpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ wo bia na sɛ biribi to a nipa bɛbɔ se wote deɛ kɔɔ so wɔ ha yɛsɛ nkurɔfoɔ te sɛ wɔn awuo no wɔn bɔ se di bronya wei nua mo ano de akɔma ne nua wei nua benku ano de abrɛ ne nua wɔn kyekyɛ wɔn ho adeɛ wɔn bɔ se san sɛ wɔn ɛka asɛmpa no wɔn awu Woma ka sempa no woma wu. Se yesi ebe ye Awurade adwuma. Se yesi ebe sum Awurade yi a. Se yesi ebe ke Awurade asempa. Titru ya yesi ya asempakafo a ye Awurade adwuma no. Ai papa ne friend saying oboaba je adofo. One City Boys. Mo mususu anu mo nka mo hunu. Mpenifo no. Oboba ji adof pues obo nyumba ko bi o se ase na oka na nya asem hwe ase na oka na wonya asem ade oso wodo no on na ebe so asem ne kosi dwa so
enye unyina na bo ni
dabi oboba ji adof na boy odo kosi dwa so na wo dodo mato so am obi abetobi enti ewia so bi do wa ya so no owie no wo kire mu se edua wonyina enne waba no aso kama ene no ma tu besi usu nti wo se jama wo de no ma pe wasema ama ope beba ma odua no so ahaba nyina progu fom wo be husa no bi ma mesi usu be husa sa na ye no sa ti benefo se sede wo enya odo sede enya odo enkrofue adwuma a wono mo ye no ye nyame adwuma o nya bone na wo mo ye wo mo ye nyame adwuma mo ye nyame adwuma ka nyame asempa na so ebra wo mu wuye enipa bosi nipa ni age nipa gineni nipa boshire. In fact nyame sem kura ka se hwe na wo tanfo kura no hwe ase a wa moshire esansa wo yesa anya abone na akọ no so no nyame beda ne da ba wo kura wo so eti nyame sem kura nyame sem kura brase so obi your tanfo mpo na o how to no wani ubaba wani age wasa de no emo wani nyi se o tanfo ahwe ase na so enkrofo we de mo abose ese adansefo no wono mo ahwere wono mo enkwa na so brother kan no their celebration no was not long esan say onyame esa de home foforo bagu ni pemu.
Oh yes,
so that is the assurance for obiara also nyame yie no hunu se wono koreka se wonyame sompa se oduma papa wudi Awurade mu nti o how be ba so a onyame will give you, will renew your strength. Onyame ebe ma oda nkwaje. That is the big lesson I wa. Enkrofo no bo say enkrofo no ni giye se wo mo ka nyame sem no wo mo wuwo we to ade no de ato ni nia we to ade no de che ni nia wo mo di bronya se obi ahwere no nkwa se obi o ka sempa no ahwere no nkwa na so that was short lived. Erade say nyane nkrofo yi e de won kwotena baby papa
3.5 days.
That is an assurance on Yankopon. E de no de Emma or mo na e kana sempa na say listen, you are going to do your work. Mama mutumi now so e limited. Or how beba mo so e bi kura mbewu. So wo ba monti ase say I have you. I got your back. Me nyane mo na me de mo honhom akwatara be papa omo de omo adwebe omo say omo de musum kunim but no the omo ye no emfa so bi in fact ebe gwa mo kra ma mo aba me nchen ten inti mo mama wura ho say no kra mo ka asem papa mo ka nyame so papa mo sunti enipa tete mo which brings us to the thinking say enunti say edwuma papa wo ye wawrade nunti obi ha wadwen a tete wa hwe no wankasa wo ye bibia atua sa nipa naka Romans chapter 12 okay verse number 14 no I could say 21 no but verse 17 to 19 no asem one person ye kan asem wa yenim dada but ye kan Romans 12 verse 17 to 19 na enti say it is not for us enya ye adwuma no say obi ye bribia ha ye nti ye koye bi atua naka onyame say ye nya ye famu de ene betua wono mo ka ono ene obetua safo no ka awreto e wo nyankopɔ ne onipa nsɛm Romans 12 17 to 19 say
say momfa bɔne entua obiara bɔne ka monna enwene normal ɛyɛ fɛ nipa nyinaa anim na sɛ betumi a mufa mu de mo ne nipa nyinaa entra asomdwie mu verse 19 adɔfo mondotɔ mo ho rɛ emo munyae ema nyankopɔn abufuo na ɔtwerɛ sɛ me na arɛtɔ ɛwɔ me ara metua ka Awurade ɛna ɔka saa amen
nti Awurade sɛ arɛtɔ on the one no vengeance so obi ayo obribi nti wo be ye bi atua ne ka no nyame sɛ ɛwɔ no nyankopɔn eni wu nipa
yes
eni wu nipa sometimes obi da ye o pe bibi de aye no na we hunu sɛ wo so yɛse mogya ayi ntosu kɔkɔ obi enu nso ye gya te fitaa ɛnokre nyankopɔn sɛ ai kɔso te fitaa no saa man kaso obi ate kɔkɔ akyerɛ wo nti wo so kɔte kɔkɔ de akyerɛ wo de kɔso te fitaa no saa sometimes yeah na very difficult what do obi ka fa ho pa what do obi ye de etia wo pa just say unya ya nanka enso nyame se dabi it is not for you it is not in your place so obi edi etia wa obi bi edi etua nka nemom jama erade ebufuom esan so atwere se ono ena awreto ewo no ono ena wotuaka ante adwena
yeah me patro scripture na ye kan sesia no na me wo asembisa kaka ho so okasa say ebetimi a if possible doesn't mean say enya possible say oni nipa nyina betina asumdwe mu ana
good question I sometimes enya possible the possible like enya no say who you from the dia no nipa no anya ne from dia what are you going to do into utie reading ye papa or say 18 no or say if it is possible first of all say as much as depends on you
yes
live peaceably with all men what it means in say wo from the be say you make sure so why but it takes two to tango we you from the no depend on person be from the how are you going to live in peace but nyame say hwena one can say into one from there. So you just do your part. Do your part of the whole thing. We are from there. Then kono so yene from there. Then come out some job. But we are from there. Also one yene from there. Inte there be no problem. Maybe I won't need problem, but no problem. So yes, sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes it's not possible. So as much as it depends on us, if it's possible, we should live peaceably with all men. I believe. Yes.
Now, no, at what point now obey area? Panise be only obi anya asem na bia wuchia na onye so. Na ukosuchia no na onye so. Na ebi wokra wuchia no otimetia o say na wososo adien you know ebi anipa nko otimigu anima ase. Obakwaso atia no. Ana ebedu a point in time bia we say wujai.
Yeah, onyame ama nyansa wo ne me bebregu. So it's a be a deep rubber bro. Be a okay, crabby or the idea about to me brown idea. We need to be careful. But as much as we can, the power 100 year, we need to keep on doing it. But say a codrum pepper so who says, I didn't a and a plan, and this is one be a brain. Now I see a step back, and you want to war for the panel, but step back. probably find another way, say, to me, I don't know, I resolve. Yes, na kan so be your body according chain. According chain, so yeah, for the new car. So you see, it means that develop new strategies. Back now, you said your harbor, develop new strategies. Elko simple and so I rather be adom, no, sir, I can't unia. Some you are some nanwa. And winner.
Yes.
Okay.
You
are some nanwa.
Me passion, me das.
As much as depends on us, yen from dear. Any opinion and na assume. I dance for no, like I said, and you know how many people you know how many pa. Irade ma on to me na ono kana sempa nyina ehye nkom fa or how na eba nipa maso on won dwumedi a ondi enti nipa kumwo na se obonsam fa nipa so kumwo na se irade ama won kra anka damnem irade ema obe papa ekokotena ye se yenso so betene irade na ase aso irade ye irade adwuma ye adwuma papa ye enti o ha kra betu aba yenso na so yenti ase se irade ewo achedie bi owo abotire bi a opesa odemma ye mududu a ebegina na ye mpa aba ekosi emeye amfensia de na wasu anwumre ono ye enche and I heard the first part of chapter 11 Radi Adam na say akonya bani yesan hye mu a we look at the second part ede ana osua ede na anwumre osua ye. Yes, Brachambo.
Yeah, still have a question concerning Acts chapter, Acts chapter 242. To was small for no, say no. Because it is a because I mean into a small say them be an member apostles 2:2. Said the beer or Moko beer that's the BBC that's the Bamutino or swam 2:2. And question crab say they say a ma so qua a mer 2 and also was smart a ma that of no name man or small. Now I say ma minako be a bema can think of them so on the cat is a pano then BC. So it was smart a man. But Revelation is also a kind of different say kasakwa yet the sinipa minu. Ono na I imagine kasane kakra.
Oh, okay.
Kakra.
Okay. So we are talking about two different things. The apostle in the gospel account was it was something Jesus did. Osma wo minu and we know why he did that. For ahoden a ewo nipa minu nantie mu. Obakokwa nante a ne nikra to me ha obi ka ne ho a otumi encourage no. So that was the idea. But Revelation idea we are that's for yeso mu free baby ne ba yo nyame na do o maba what describe one but na ye kyerem say sa dance for mienu we no enye the same as dance for Jesus na wo mienu ase ne yeka na mum this dance for no represents a nipa a free asma for no apenso a free edi for no apenso a wo mo kasa kyere wo man no say wo nya abone ye mbe ya papa sa for ni nyina na wo use sa mienu de a kyere mu mienu gina ho ma unity ahoden said the osanka 49 na kan say the new year sene baako essence won bre market yapa o hodma wo o baako kwa na mo na wo hwe asa na be pagya wo. So that is the point. Enti Revelation there na ye kasako a egina ho ma enipa dodo a wono mo fa Awurade adwuma to wo ho so atwe o ma na adwene si papa so na so o ma no da so ye bone no but Yesu ba ye na no wo soma nipa no soma wo mienu so won mo enko asempa no. That does not literally mean say send ye kwa bonte ko preach ya chenchena wo say ye kono mienu da bi enya sa na kire aha enya sa na kire ebetumi mienu betumi miensa ba say obako na obako nkwa so na so kwashi obi na say opeso no sua de nso obeka say woni ni nsua wo ya wo nkwa. There are a lot of cases in the Bible where Christianity started you know unipa baako ono obi nkwa esua de Priscilla ne kunu omumienu ene Apollo esua de ye wada instances a onipa baako which you'll be no aiding common, it doesn't change anything. But to be very successful, no, say, Kobe, now, it is a planned move now, person will make it, that's will be count Emma, a boa mission, as a driver, I will drive a long distance. Na I will drive, bra, or some babanti will be count one, at least, bra, beboa, also a cry. So it helps. But revelation was more symbolic. I did a woman nipa, one more, I nyame adwuma adifo no, any smartphone, one of my year radio adwuma no kremu, ede aba, ABC, bra, rade peso de atemu, eba, Oman Jerusalem, esono. Bra for just me, you was some nanwa.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's why.
Then I was saying, you only enche.
Masua bibi wɔ verse 11 hɔ.
Okay.
Nyanko ewuo ba wɔ mo so no. Nyankopɔn ma wɔ mo a egyinagyina hɔ a wɔ mo ani agye a yɛsresre sɛ mo bɛka nyame asɛm. Mo ho akyerɛ mo no. 3.5 days. Ɔsan de ahome ɛbɛhyɛ wɔ mo mu. Sorry. Wɔkyerɛ sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ bibi ni a yɛnya gyidie ni abotrɛ. Etwe nyame obetumi ayɛ adeɛ nyina.
That's Auntie Esther. Diana also was here. Yes, Brother Stephen.
Yeah, me Diana say, the Diana say me prayer na Yankopɔn ɛka me ɛka ne ma no ho. Sɛnea ɔhyɛ John sɛ ɔmmɛhyɛ nkurɔfo a na ɔwɔ temple ne mu no. Na ɛno gyina hɔ ma wɔn a wɔdi nokorɛ ɔnante Nyankopɔn anim ɛwɔ nokorɛ mu. Ɛno saa bi ɛna mɛpere sɛ mɛyɛ mɛyɛ anaa mɛka ho sɛnea nnwom no ɛka sɛ Lord, I want to be in the number. Nti no my prayer no ɛsɛ sɛ me go, me purpose, we focus on that. The sense that Nyankopɔn ɛyɛ nokwafoɔ na onim yɛn nyinara medi nokorɛ ma na onim sɛ nyatwom nso na meyɛ na sɛ nyɛ nokorɛ na meyɛ ɔno nso onim. Yɛn nam sɛ ɔno de onim bibia nti no sɛ me prayer na meka Nyankopɔn nipa a ɔbɛkae wɔn no ɛka ho sɛneɛ menya nkwagye.
Right. That's it. I mean, sure. I'm glad to interview.
Dama, Onuya Stephen, my mommy Esther Ken and American be to today. Yes, from 7 to 11 down when you know catch in there. Yabe, yes, Christy, a cheat from Cote the Yentum Yemper, the beginning obra or Senebra on saying, Senim Penim Ponibu in Guasibu at a tea wa. Yankupon now in a call for no bayman and home for me. I come home no nation. Into Mamdro to Munia Stephen, my mommy Esther dinner drain.
That's it. I mean, sure, I'm glad to. Bra Matthew, now so about the atoa na ankra to akawasem.
Na demi bekana na wakame. No me kede yabe Christopher de no matter what the situation no osede yetu yejina painting na enya akokodrus na yetu me eche Onyankopon na se ntino. The mission in brain.
That's papa. Sister when I into
Me say in all things, no, at the end of it all, no, there is victory for the righteous. Inti me say o Kristo ni was a me ye ne say mribia no me wo Nyankopɔn na ase na me fi na kwan so. No matter what I go through, na the end of it all, because ya pansa say me sum nyame na se me sum nyame na me a me se da nyi manim enji mani wiase kwan so me nso a me nya ne atie wo Nyankopɔn anim na awieye no me nya nkwagye ema me kra enti se o Kristoni no mebɔmɔden aye mafamu de say me righteous, because at the end of it all, no, the righteous people are going to come out victorious. Not many sa victory, to crown it all.
Yes. Papa Nyamisha. Brother Fojo, who the last one?
Yeah, so the best one I make a be at all. Me offer say edwin at the end so no say Bible say say you work with me you're from the said the only nyina betra asundwem e we have to be honest say the tibia no obefum obi so befum but Bible say ema owia enkoto obufuo so tebasia eba bibisia na reconcile na onu no say o kan no na bibi na waya na akọrọ nchen onua na de ba yi were misre wa fachem why from there so factor is up to the person so wosusu na wafom wa na wosusu ayere wosusu waju waya wajina ya the top paratum na ma tan fefefe tell ba bo kase you from there so bitimi a nipa nyina ntra yi enti koma a Christopher nyina na se kotra asoro dem na itwetwe na ntina and sub preduasa you will see a time no one call cry nanka ye wotrafie edu boro jo nanka your pa me do was
Yes, that's bro for you. Sister Linda, into you.
Pacho, dear, me so my fan so far, this one when say ya Christopher, na say ya friend say ye nyame ma no. Adwuma ne nye aniso say wo ye kikikikiri wa sorry fie wo pla wo fa wo ye say and ma wo ye Christo ni na yen kan hu say the ultimate marker no and I said the all ma wo I abotre no in the end no ono hwa akoma mu no hu bibia enti no wo ye kikikiki wa aniso a enkosi ba bia na tenafie said me papa kojo kan tenafie enti no bia no mani fi wa komam enye necessary say be pie amado te won chen hu most of the time we ya dan ya obi be hu because actions speak louder than words but yeah said ya me ya che mo ya hu ti dia wo yen sa wo say ya hu na winya crown no in the end.
It has Baba Sister Linda Yamisha. For Revelation chapter 11 look to be a very difficult book. Now, so I'm say it to me esua enya bibebre e de afri mu. Yamisha I say to me about so radi adoma na essential bi mu a ebeto so na ya heard the second part of chapter 11 no na aboa yentiase na aboa mi to me ehunu di rade epese yehunu e wo the book of Revelation no mo tiase say eneman bebre o Revelation book no mo no was not directly meant for us. Christopher anomo ishamano and a crest acrated to come out share one day say or how no beba na so mu gina kosiase a rade be mo on my yunkunim before or how an eba Jerusalem wa won antie rade asem so and na hwɛ no ɛka ho asɛm wɔ chapter number 11 nyame hyerɛ yɛ nyina wonya bra ya na waka hi chapter 11 no fa na aka no yɛhyɛ bie mu a na ama adesua no ayɛ brɛde ama yɛ nyame hyerɛ obiara sɛ wotumi ba so amen
Amen. Mante.
Auntie